They said the scroll was nothing more than a myth, a story whispered among monks and archaeologists, a warning carved into temple walls. He who reads the words of light shall awaken the eye that sleeps. But legends have a way of waiting, silent, buried, patient, until someone dares to touch them. It began not in Egypt, but in the marble silence of an Italian monastery in 1893. A sand-covered crate arrived from Alexandria, sealed under the Vatican's authority. Inside was a bundle of brittle papyrus, wrapped in black linen that smelled of ash and frankincense. The monks called it simply the Scroll of Thoth. The man who opened it, Father Matteo Lorenz, was not an archaeologist. He was a linguist obsessed with lost alphabets, a man who believed words carried power long after voices vanished. That night, under the dim oil lamps of his cell, he began to translate the first line, and the monastery never slept again. The scroll was written in 3 languages: ancient Greek, Demotic Egyptian, and an unknown script that shimmered faintly when touched by flame. The first translation read, "These are the verses of light, sealed before the flood, kept by the sons of the sun until the world forgets." Within days, Father Matteo's handwriting began to tremble. He recorded strange sounds, low hums beneath the floor, whispers from walls that were centuries old. On the 7th day, he locked himself inside the library and wrote one final note: "The words are alive." He was found at dawn, his eyes open, pupils white, the scroll lying beside him, untouched, yet the candle wax around it had melted in perfect circles, as if something had pulsed outward from the parchment itself. The Vatican sealed the crate again, labeling it prohibited, Index Obscura number 17. For almost 100 years, it vanished from record. But in 1984, during the digital cataloging of archives beneath St. Peter's, a technician stumbled upon a file describing a papyrus emitting measurable radiation. The crate was missing. It reappeared 2 years later, not in Rome, but in a warehouse outside Cairo. The manifest listed it as the Papyrus of Light, owned by a private collector named Dr. Elias Karam, an Egyptian physicist who believed ancient materials encoded energy through sound. He claimed that papyrus could resonate like quartz, that sacred chants were not prayers, but frequencies. When he unwrapped the linen under ultraviolet light, the scroll glowed. The letters rearranged themselves. His instruments short-circuited. The only thing he managed to record was a single frame from a thermal camera, a pattern of concentric rings radiating heat, identical to the spiral found in the Temple of Edfu, symbol of creation. 2 weeks later, Dr. Karam vanished. The warehouse burned to the ground. Firefighters said the flames were blue. Every civilization speaks of knowledge that was never meant for mankind, knowledge said to call the heavens or split the earth. In Egypt, they called it Heka, divine utterance, the word that makes reality obey. The scroll of Thoth, if real, might have contained those words, not prayers, instructions. Some believe that's why Alexandria's library burned. Not an accident, not Caesar's siege, but a cleansing, a way to silence what had been written. Modern historians laugh at that. But laughter fades when data repeats patterns older than history. When radar scans in 2019 found metallic traces in sand near Saqqara, copper alloys that shouldn't exist in 3000 BC, the readings matched the same spiral energy Dr. Karam captured on his camera in 1986. 2 identical signatures 5,000 years apart. The story should have ended there, but secrets move through time like echoes, faint, distorted, unstoppable. In 2021, a graduate student named Layla Hassan was decoding damaged manuscripts in the Egyptian Museum's basement when she noticed an anomaly. One scroll, carbon dated to forward 200 BC, contained a single line written in the same hybrid script described by Father Matteo. Her translation app crashed each time she scanned it. When she finally copied the symbols by hand, she realized they formed a frequency, a sequence of numbers that, when converted to audio, produced a deep harmonic tone. That night, security cameras recorded her entering the restricted vault and never leaving. The next morning, the guards found the door locked from the inside. The air smelled of ozone. The papyrus lay open on the floor, glowing faintly, as if lit from within. The inscription above it read, "To speak is to remember." Scientists from Cairo University took samples. The papyrus contained traces of a mineral found only in meteorites. The ink, when magnified, revealed crystalline particles that responded to sound waves, micro-resonant structures unknown to any writing material. Each letter was not just pigment, it was engineered vibration, words you could hear even in silence. The team tried to reproduce the tone using modern speakers. The first attempt lasted 6 seconds before every light in the lab blew out. The temperature rose by 5 degrees. The microphones picked up what sounded like a voice, ancient, layered, speaking multiple tongues at once. The translation software identified only 2 words. Not again. Rumors spread quickly. Governments denied everything, but the military sealed the entire wing of the museum, citing radiation hazards. 2 weeks later, satellite photos showed construction cranes erecting a new structure over the site. A concrete dome, 20 meters thick, without any windows. Locals call it the Silent House. Inside, the scroll rests inside a glass chamber cooled to near zero, guarded by both priests and physicists, because neither side knows which one it offends more. Some say it hums when people pray nearby. Others swear they've heard whispers from the walls, promising revelation to those who dare to read again, and yet the legend refuses to die. Every few years, fragments appear online, supposed images of the script, blurry recordings of the tone. Most are fake, but one video, uploaded anonymously, caught experts off guard. It showed a single line from the scroll, traced in golden ink. "When the eye closes, light will speak." Background noise in the clip revealed low frequencies matching those recorded during magnetic anomalies beneath the Sphinx Plateau. If that's coincidence, it's the strangest one in archaeology. Could the scroll and the Sphinx be connected? 2 guardians of one story, 2 locks to the same forbidden vault of memory? The pattern keeps returning. Light, sound, vibration. As if the ancients were not primitive builders, but engineers of resonance, using stone and word as code. Modern physicists are beginning to notice. Quantum acoustics proves that vibration shapes matter. Sound can suspend objects, even carve patterns into water that mimic ancient symbols. The ancients might have known this not as theory, but as experience. To them, speech wasn't expression, it was creation. The voice of a god could build worlds. The wrong human echo could unmake them. Perhaps that's why the scroll was sealed. Not out of fear of knowledge, but fear of memory. Of remembering a power that once almost ended everything. A classified report leaked in 2024 described a new phenomenon inside the Silent House. Temperature spikes every equinox, as if the scroll responds to planetary alignment. During one event, sensors recorded a faint heartbeat, 93 beats per minute, emanating not from the papyrus, but from the air around it. Then silence. For the rest of the year, the readings flat-lined. They call it the breathing of Thoth. There's one more thing. Hidden in Father Matteo's original journal, long thought lost, is a small, marginal note, written in Latin so faint it was invisible until scanned under near-infrared light. It reads, "The scroll does not reveal truth, it reveals the reader." Scholars debate what that means. Some think it's metaphor, that the script mirrors the mind, translating one's deepest fear into language. Others whisper, that's why Matteo's eyes turned white. He saw himself written down, line by line, in the words of light. And if that's true, the scroll is not a text at all. It's a mirror, one made of sound, waiting for consciousness to touch it. To read it is to awaken what you truly are, and perhaps what humanity once was, before forgetting. What would happen if someone read it aloud now, in a world wired with frequencies, surrounded by satellites and signals? What if one vibration aligned perfectly and opened the memory of the earth again? Would the sky pulse? Would oceans rise in rhythm? Or would everything simply remember? They say the scroll still lies sealed beneath that dome. No one is allowed to enter. Guards are changed every 6 months because of psychological fatigue. But sometimes, on windless nights, locals claim the air around the structure shimmers, like heat on stone, and a low hum ripples across the desert. It sounds, they say, like a voice trying to breathe. Maybe it's imagination, or maybe the words of light are stirring again, waiting for another hand, another translator, another soul too curious to obey warnings carved in time. After all, history never forgets. It only waits.